Namaskar. Welcome to episode 8. What you are actually attracting. The law of attraction properly understood. The law of attraction is one of the most popular ideas in modern self help. You have almost certainly encountered some version of it. Think positive thoughts and you attract positive circumstances. Visualize what you want and the universe arranges itself to deliver it. Like attracts like. There is something true buried inside that idea. But the popular version of it, as it is usually taught, gets something important backwards. And in the context of relationships specifically, that reversal causes real confusion and sometimes real harm. I want to give you the version of this principle as the Vedic tradition actually understands it. It is more demanding than the popular version. It is also, I think, considerably more honest. In section 1, we discuss where the popular version goes wrong. The popular law of attraction, as usually taught, treats the mind as something close to a wish-granting device. Think the right thoughts, hold the right vibration, and the right person or circumstances materialize. The problem with this is not that it is entirely false. It is that it locates the mechanism in the wrong place. It treats conscious surface level thought, the thoughts you can deliberately choose to think, the affirmations you can repeat, as the thing doing the attracting. But we have spent 7 episodes establishing something different. The thing actually shaping who you are drawn to and who is drawn to you is not your conscious thought. It is your vasana, the deep, largely unconscious groove built from accumulated experience, operating well beneath the level of anything you are deliberately thinking. This is why so many people who practice positive thinking and visualization diligently still find themselves attracting the same painful dynamic. They have changed their conscious thoughts. They have not touched the vasanas underneath those thoughts, which is the actual mechanism doing the attracting. In section 2, we discuss like attracts like, correctly understood. The phrase like attract likes is not wrong. It simply needs to be understood at the correct level. What attracts what you experience is not your surface wishes. It is the quality, the guna, and the specific impression, the vasana, that you are actually carrying, often unconsciously, much of the time. If you are carrying an unresolved vasana around being unseen, you will not attract at the level of genuine resonance. The person who simply hands you visibility or arrival. You will attract circumstances and people who recreate the exact felt experience of being unseen, because that is the frequency, so to speak, that your inner world is actually transmitting. The encounter that recreates the wound is what your system recognizes and moves towards, even while your conscious mind is wishing for the opposite. This is genuinely like attracting alike. But what is doing the attracting is not your wish. It is your wound or your clarity, whichever is currently more dominant and more active in you. In section 3, we discuss the guna dimension. We introduced the 3 gunas in episode 3 in the context of the honeymoon phase specifically. I want to widen that lens now because the gunas are not only relevant to early attraction, they describe the quality of what you are emitting, so to speak, at all times, and that quality is what is actually doing the attracting. A person operating predominantly from tamas there is heaviness, inertia, unconsciousness, avoidance, tends to attract circumstances and people that match that quality, not as punishment, simply as resonance. Tamas calls to tamas. A person operating predominantly from rajas, that is activity, desire, restlessness, intensity, attracts intensity. Often exciting, often unstable, rajas calls to rajas. A person operating predominantly from sattva, there is clarity, steadiness, genuine presence, attracts circumstances and people of a different quality altogether. Calmer, more honest, less charged, but more sustainable. Almost everyone is a mixture of all three, shifting depending on circumstances and season of life. The relevant question is not which guna am I permanently, but which guna is currently dominant in me, particularly in the area of my life where I keep encountering the same difficulty. In section 4, we discuss why this version is more demanding and more honest. Here is why I said this version of the principle is more demanding than the popular one. The popular law of attraction allows you to stay exactly as you are and simply add a layer of positive thinking on top, with the expectation that life will rearrange itself around your wishes. It does not ask you to change anything beneath the surface. The version I am describing asks for something harder. It asks you to look honestly at what you are actually carrying, not what you wish you were carrying, not what you perform on social media or in conversation, but the actual quality of vasana and guna operating in you, particularly the parts you would rather not examine. Because you cannot think your way into attracting something genuinely different. You can only become something genuinely different, and the attracting follows from that becoming. This is also why the work cannot stop at the level of intellectual understanding. Understanding the mechanism, which is what these 8 episodes have been doing, is necessary. But it is the beginning, not the end. The vasana itself is not cleared by understanding it intellectually. It is gradually cleared through sustained practice, honest self-observation, and, as I mentioned back in episode 5, the kind of structured inner work that the thinking mind alone cannot do for itself. Now in section 5 we discuss bringing it back to relationship. So, if you want to know what you are actually attracting in relationships, do not start by examining your conscious wishes. Start by examining the pattern we identified back in episode 6, the feeling, the origin, the strategy. The pattern is not separate from what we have discussed today. It is the vasana made visible, and the quality with which you relate to that pattern, whether you meet it with tamasic avoidance, rajasic reactivity, or sattvic clarity, is quite literally the law of attraction operating in real time in your actual life right now. You are not attracting what you want. You are attracting what you are. And the considerably more useful question than how do I attract the right person is this: what would I need to become at the level of vasana and guna such that the right kind of connection becomes the natural and inevitable result rather than something I am chasing or hoping for. Here is what I want you to sit with this week. Look honestly at the pattern you identified in episode 6, the feeling, the origin, the strategy, and ask which guna tends to dominate when that pattern is activated in me. Is it tamas? Do I go heavy, withdrawn, avoidant? Is it rajas? Do I go reactive, anxious, intense? Or is there even briefly a moment of sattva, a moment of actual clarity before the old pattern takes over? You do not need to change anything yet. Simply notice honestly which quality is currently running the show. We have now covered 8 episodes: the filter, the projection, the honeymoon, the crack, the 3 paths, the pattern, the karmic dimension, and now the actual mechanism of attraction underneath all of it. In the episodes ahead, we are going to move from understanding this mechanism to the practical work of actually beginning to clear it. If this series has shifted how you see your relationships, share it with someone who is ready to look a little deeper. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.